Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, price continues to trade within the overall uptrending framework that's been going on for a while here, but we are seeing a cycle pullback right now after this failure to hold above the previous month's high. Again, that's the first thing we saw here, first trading day of the month here, where price pushes above that zone of the week, rather. This was the first trading day of the month of the week, where it wasn't able to hold above the previous high, started to work back down, and so far it's working back below the midpoint of this rejection day. And again, I mentioned before that sometimes in these recent markets we've needed to come down here and double dip before we go higher. Here's an example of double dipping. Over here's another example where we had to come down and then eventually we roll higher. So right now, 2600, very important. Again, if price is going to push below the midpoint here, close below it, you most often come down here and take out that low. So again, any push below 2605 into 2600 into the trigger zone could be one final opportunity to defend and attempt to return it to highs and perhaps through it. Any failure to hold 2600 could open up a move back toward 2540, although the market has been very buoyant lately. Not expecting a move of that significance. But again, if 2600 can't hold, that's the next logical spot below. All right, here's a look at crude oil. Crude oil right here, trending higher, pushed into 58.75, failing to hold beyond that zone and pulling back somewhat. We mentioned before that crude has been very, very bullish, but we're coming into major resistance into 60, perhaps as high as 62. We could still see bulls defend 55s for a shot at 60 and higher, but any failure to hold 55 could start to break market structure and return price back to value. That's 49.17. So right now, with 55s remaining intact, any pullback as low as that could still be a buying opportunity for bulls right now. So any pullback still an opportunity for bulls to defend. Looking at the NQ, this one here, 63.90, came in hard as a resistance level after failing to hold a support. Bears defended that level, and we're now back to 62.38. 62.38 being a big-time FOMC key level from November 11th. Look how many times bulls have defended that level over time. And as I mentioned before, bulls defend. They got stops below. If they don't get paid, the stops will come out. So this is a very important zone here. You can see how significant that LVN is. If price were to push down into 61.50, there could still be a rejection that occurs below this low that gets this thing pointed back up. So 61.50 is the major pivot here, but we may not be done going down just yet. 62.38 still serving as a major form of support. If price drops below it, expect bears to try and defend it and push this thing lower. But 61.50 is going to be a big time area, a last line of defense for bulls to defend here, at least with regards to the current market structure. All right, lastly, taking a look at gold futures. Gold has made its way down. We talked yesterday about how tight that previous range was. Above 1280 could squeeze nicely, and quite frankly, below it, test the edge. And that's what I mentioned yesterday was when price compresses significantly, it doesn't say anything about direction. Price compression only tells you that volatility has compressed, and we should be looking for expansion soon, but it doesn't tell us about direction. That's why I mentioned above 80 half squeezes this way, below 72, 73 pushes you to the outer edge. And we got down into our 63.20 to 65.90 zone, and you saw an initial bounce. Right now, bears defending here. So we're not done just yet. We're still trying to find the edge. But as soon as we get down and we start to reject really hard here, it could be a quick buy back to 1280 half and perhaps a move all the way back to 1300. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.